internet. This is Jeff from Saratoga Springs, a haunted garage walkthrough that I do every year in Saratoga Springs, Utah. And I needed a cool fireplace for my witch's cabin that I'm in the process of building right now. And this is what I came up with. It is made from an old bookshelf, some scrap foam, 2x4s, and other random bits and pieces of whatever I had lying around. And then I had some ultrasonic mist, fire effect, and yeah, this is what I got. So I'm going to walk you through how I created it, from building the fireplace itself into how I did the fire effect down there, bubbling cauldron, all that stuff. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've taken this old bookshelf here. I've added some 2x4 legs down there to raise it up. I've added some extra bracing on the side, but this is actually mostly for allowing me to give some extra space for the foam to be attached to something to create kind of stone paneling off to the side. And then I've attached these 2x4 struts going straight up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this giant piece of thin wood here, attach it there. That gives me a face plate to attach all the foam to, foam insulation that I can carve. And then once this is attached, when I want to store this thing, I can just undo these screws down here, and I can have this be two pieces for storage if needed. Then, I've already been cutting foam. I've got, this guy is going to go down here. I've got, like so. And then I will go find my foam scraps and create side paneling up here, here, and the front. And then this will be mounted up against the wall. I'll have wood pallets acting as the cabin in this case, but it can just fit in that hole. We can attach this to the mounted to the wall itself. It's not going to tip forward. And then we'll start rigging up the cauldron and the fire and everything else. So that's what I've done so far. Okay, I've drawn in with a Sharpie all the stonework that I'm going to be carving out now into this foam. I've got my handy soldering iron here, and I'm going to carve out all these little shapes, start giving the stone some texture. So here we go. Okay, got the stone all carved in with the soldering iron. I'm now going to take the hot knife here and just carve some texture into some of the edges. You know, I've got a lot of clean cuts, and I want to really add some weathering to this old, grody stone, right? So that's what I'm going to do now. And in case you hadn't noticed, I'm in a very well ventilated garage. 2-door, single door, garage door, all open. And I got a fan right there trying to blow these fumes away from me so I don't breathe them in. But anyway, here we go. So the last thing I'm going to do is take the heat gun, and I'm going to start adding some more texture and widening out some of these worn in areas, and the heat will hopefully melt out some of this stuff. It'll work really well on the blue foam. This foam is a lot more fire retardant, and it does not respond as well to the melting, but we'll do what we can. So on the blue foam, or if you have pink foam, you take a spray bottle and you spray it and then apply the heat. You don't leave a lot of water, just get a fine mist on there and then apply the heat. You can add a lot more interesting depth to these tiles. So you can try that if you like. Let me let you get close and personal with this. You can see some of the texture the heat gun and the foam carving knife and the soldering iron was able to create. I'm also going to start playing with some spray paint, because usually you don't spray paint foam, but because spray paint will eat away at the foam. But I'm actually going to use that to my advantage, so I tried it right there, and that was not a hole I had in the foam normally, but I sprayed a heavy glob of paint there, and it created that nice indentation. Alright, so I finished carving the whole piece. I've laid it down on its side now to start painting. So you can see I've already got some coats down, but what I did was I put down first Drylock concrete masonry waterproofer. That was the first coat over everything to kind of toughen it up. It has a little bit of gritty texture on top of that as well. But then I put a base coat of black paint on. So for now I'm going to go into highlighting the stone with some grays and different colors, and pick out different colored stones and start painting it up. Okay, I got the base gray down. I'm now going to pick out some different colored stones on each of the sections. So I'll probably have 3 or 4 different colors of stone, and then I'll have kind of the main gray to tie it all together. Kind of like a real fireplace would have been taken from different colored stones. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so I dry brushed the whole thing in that light gray to kind of bring all the pieces together. Even the darker greens or browns have now more of a stony look. And I'm going to put on a wash, a dark colored wash. It's just some acrylic black and brown paints mixed in about 1 part paint to 8 parts water, and then some jet dry to help it flow better. And now I'm going to apply this everywhere to weather all the stones and deepen in those recesses a little bit more. Alright, wash is applied. This is going to dry lighter than this. So before you freak out and be like, oh, it's too dark, just wait. It'll get to a really good spot. I hope. Alright, let's let this thing dry. Alright, so this is the dried product, and as promised, it lightened out a little bit. Now it just leaves it looking nice and weathered old stone. Kind of blend in those colors much better, so they're not, they don't stick out as badly as being totally different colors. The wash really darkens them in, but it blends it all real together quite nicely, I think. So I've gone ahead and also put on a clear matte spray varnish on the top just to kind of seal it all together and protect the paint job a little bit. And if you want to get close, you can see the different textures that were created using. So down here, as you can sort of see, it's kind of dark, but something like this indent was created just using spray paint right on the foam to let the spray paint eat away at it to kind of give different textures. And I think this one was more done with just a hot knife to carve in and stuff. So yeah, different things you can do to play around and add depth and texture to your piece. So the last things I'm going to do, it's almost done, but no fireplace is pristine if it's been used in a haunted house, right? So we got to add some smoke stains down there, I think. And one more special touch I'm going to add right over the fireplace will be the little shelf. All right, let me get to it. So it's a little subtle. I can't super tell, especially in the dark, you'll never notice. But what fireplace has pristine stone in the back if you got a fire going? It's the little things, right? And there you have it. One finished fireplace made from some 2x4s, a bold bookshelf. I took an extra scrap piece of wood, just stained it so it looked older, and mounted it up there just with some bracing in the back. Very crude, but effective. All right. So, thanks for watching. We'll go part 2 of this, or another follow-on to this will be with the fire and the potion and everything else we put in there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Happy hunting.